Hey everyone, Dooms here, back today with another video. Today I'm going to share with you what a coaching session looks like with one person. So today we're going to be coaching Jinko and his Jinx gameplay. He's a Jinx one trick and also a great YouTuber. His link is going to be in the description below. Make sure to check him out. He's got a great guide about how Baron Nashor works and how you can take it with even just 1 HP as an ADC. So go check it out if you're interested. So yeah, as I said, today I'm going to share with you what a coaching session with me looks like. If you want to book some, I'll put also a link in the description. Feel free to check it out. But yeah, so today we're gonna coach someone as an ADC. So you're gonna play Jinx, as I said. So you're gonna get info about how to play ADCs, specifically Jinx, but it works for every ADC. How the duo lane works, opportunities when it comes to wave management, tempo, even macro, just for everyone, even if you're not playing ADC but another role. Everything you should pay attention to, and also, yeah, don't forget that even if you play support, ADC, mid, jungle, top, whatever, understanding the other lanes helps you improve your own laning experience and knowing what you can do to help your team win, because in the end it's a 5v5 game. So yeah, let's jump right into it and start with the gameplay. Okay, so for starters, this you should be doing in every game, whether ranked, competitive, whatever. It's really working anytime. Look at the 5v5. So as an ADC, or for example, you should think about, okay, your champion, Jinx, it's gonna scale really well. You know that in early you won't have a lot of damage, but you scale really well. If you've got a DPS, you're gonna hurt in late game and even through mid game if you're a bit fed. But as an ADC, you are in the duo lane, so you should pay attention to the 2v2. How is the 2v2 here? Well, against Varus Rakan with Jinx Nami, you should be winning the lane. Why? Because you've got a ranged support, which means she can poke, harass, especially Nami. She's really excellent at that. At the time we're speaking, she's not nerfed yet, but I know that she's gonna be nerfed in the patch dropping tomorrow, I believe, at time of recording at least. So yeah, she's gonna hurt maybe a bit less. But still, she's really good at that. It's her early game power, especially against Rakan. Level 1, he doesn't exist a champion. He needs at least 2 abilities to jump in and jump out, otherwise he's gonna get poked too much. Nami should start E and harass. As we said, if you're Jinx, you've got opportunities in your early game with Nami, but you don't have to pressure yourself because you know you're gonna scale and do well late game. So that's a really good lane, a really good draft, let's say. You've got a strong lane and strong late game. Perfect, that's what you need. So you don't overforce it. And one thing you gotta check from the bigger picture, one champion in the enemy team is gonna counter you, the whole team basically. I'll let you guys 3 seconds, or let's say 10, to check who it is. Think it through, press pause if needed. Alright, giving it now. It's Olaf, for sure. Why? Your whole team revolves around CC. Whether it's Nami, who's going to be defending you, she only defends with CC and heals you a little bit. Vi CCs, Irelia CCs, Galio Ultra CC. Olaf doesn't care, so just don't feed Olaf. That's really your win condition right now. Like, yes, they've got plenty of CC themselves, Rakan, Veigar, Varus, etc. So you should be maybe engaging them, but not too hard at least, because they're gonna run on you. If Olaf doesn't get anything early game, he's out of the game, and basta, and you should win this. Okay, so pay attention to that too. Really analyze your team play. Okay, how are they playing? How are we playing? What do I need to pay attention to? So alright, that's loading screen. You should be doing all of that already. If you're not yet, do it in your next game, practice it. It's gonna change a lot. We see some smooth movements here already. Good job, Jinko. Okay, I'm gonna put a bit faster so we can advance, because otherwise we're gonna do 1 hour video. I could speak for hours for it here. Okay, so as we said, really dominant laning phase. And this is already a huge mistake by Rakan. So as we said, he's really weak level 1. He can jump in, but he can't jump out. So especially against 2 ranged people, when he even misses his CC, he should be poked at least till this of his HP, something like that. Let's check out if it actually happens. Okay, not that much, but we have the opportunity to poke Varus. It's okay. One thing, you see that Nami started with Bubble. Usually, as I said, Nami starts with the heal poke. Why? Because Bubble has to hit. Normally, if people are good, it should hit maybe once out of 3 bubbles. While his other spell is point click. Like you just aim at someone, it's gonna hit him no matter what. It can't be dodged, and it does the same damage, and it can bounce back to heal you. So basically, it's just way better. It just doesn't CC, but as you can see, you don't really capitalize on that CC just yet because Jinx doesn't have the damage at level 1 to really burst someone who's in a bubble. Alright, so Varus is pushing slowly, like both waves are pretty much even, we could say. They're level 2, we're level 1, so try to still be careful about it. See the bubble, like it's okay, but it doesn't heal you back and don't do anything with the CC anyway, so it's good. Don't get me wrong, it's really great and he's hitting plenty of bubbles, so good job Maxman. But it's better to start Ian bubble second. Alright, let's move on a bit. Okay, we know Olaf is here, we saw him. We just chill out. Alright, as we said, you're strong early, so you have something that is called prio in your lane. If you don't know what it is, check out my tempo video or wave management, both work. I speak about prio in both. Check those out to know what prio is. It's long to explain, so I'm not gonna do it right now. We focus on coaching. But yeah, check it out. Right now you should have prio, which means that if Rakan decides to move, like we can see right here, let me put the map. If we see Rakan is moving like that, you two gotta punish that. If you have Prior, you can just push the wave and then collapse on him, and he has to do the grand tour and lose plenty of CS. Or you decide to punish Varus. Both are fine, as long as your jungle doesn't suicide on it, obviously. So yeah, let's check what Jinko is gonna do with Maxman. The jungle is spinning, they decide to... picking, sorry. They decide to not move, okay, but you gotta punish Varus. How do you punish Varus? It's by making sure he doesn't have CS, because he's alone, like he really can't hit any CS, especially against 2 ranged people. How do you do that? You should be standing 1 meter ahead of the wave, so something like this, right there, and both people parallel. So if I have to draw, you would have someone here, someone there, which makes a parallel line, and he can't CS. Why? Because technically then Varus can't be closer than this, and you here you can still last hit those minions, while he doesn't get experience from your minions there. That's the way to do it. And if he tries to contest something, he'll be hitting you, but you both will be hitting them. So it's a 2v1. It's always better for you. In other scenario too, if let's say, let's remove that, if let's say your 2 was standing here to prevent him from farming, that's not good. Why? Especially against Varus. Remember, his abilities are AoE, like his arrow pierces. His E is a zoning ability, so he can hit both of you. So you really want to be not like that, but rather like the blue. 1 here, 1 there, so he has to choose 1 person to hit, and you hit as 2 people, Varus. Okay? Don't forget that, it's really really important to punish people. We're starting to do this, like they realize enemy is missing, they pinged it, but they still don't prevent him that much from CSing. Like you really should be standing right there. And while Rakan is taking kills, they're killing the jungle, etc. So you really gotta punish that way more. You're offensive, you're a dominant lane, Nami Jinx. Stand your ground, really. Okay, you're crashing a wave, hitting turret a bit. You see it's a cannon wave, so you've got 2 choices. When it's a cannon wave, either you back before that, but you should have done it as soon as it crashes. Why? Because normally they won't have time to clear all of that, plus your incoming. So they won't have time to clear your minions here, plus the incoming cannon wave. And so once you get back, either they have to stay because you're gonna push with your cannon wave under their turret, or they decide to back, but they lose plenty of tower HP because you've got a cannon wave, and they lose cannon. So that would be the best move right now. Decided to stay to hit the tower a bit, that's okay. But then you need to clear this wave, because otherwise they're gonna do it on you. They're either gonna freeze you right here. If you don't know what freezing is, again, check the wave management video, it's explained long, deeply there. So you have to clear that, and then go back instantly. Okay, Rakan decides to poke a bit. One thing you can note, if you didn't see it yet, let's check. You see this? It means Rakan plays Electrocute. Like, we see it as a spectator. They should see it in the scoreboard too, but you don't always see it. But that's why Rakan hurts so much. He's playing AP and Electrocute. So he's not gonna be as tanky a bit because he's likely gonna build Rod of Ages, but yeah, he's gonna hurt like a truck, so you gotta be careful about that. Less tanky, more damage. Okay, you took cannon and you back off. It's okay. You basically bought a 5-10 second window where you're before them, like they're 10 seconds late, so you will have 10 seconds to place a ward, and maybe place a ward here when you come back, like this one, and then move on, or renew this one if this one stops or whatever. Or maybe trap them in this bush, or you've got plenty of possibilities. But yeah, you still bought less time and less pressure on their turret than if you backed before. So you know. So cannon wave is really interesting to play around that. Yeah, careful about taking the full mana again. Up. Okay, nice rockets. Okay, you denied Olaf back, that's good. Right, you decide to push it. Okay, why not? So you're gonna crash the wave. Crashing the wave 30 seconds before is okay. I would maybe have waited this one, this next wave. But like it's okay too. There's definitely no wait, let me close this one up. Okay, I can't draw there, whatever. But it's not a bad thing at all to do. Like it's a really good thing. You lose a bit of farm, but you buy more time to have an impact on the map. It can really be good. Really good move by, I don't know if it's Maxman or Jinko, I think it's Maxman. Putting vision down on an objective, especially if you're moving away from it. Perfect. That's what you need to do. Taking the river fruit, really good. And taking mid prio. I don't know why the Veigar is not backing away while he has the ward. Whatever. That's really good. He burns flash. That's absolutely perfect. Alright. This fight isn't bad, but there's one thing you gotta know immediately when you start this fight. Okay, my jungler is on the bot side, so I know right now that I have literally 10 seconds before Varus comes. Like we see there's no wave. Varus is gonna come 100%. So we've got 10 seconds in a 3v3 before it becomes a 3v4. So I have 10 seconds to achieve something and get out. Achieve something can be a kill, but it can be making the burn stuff or whatever. Like let's see what happens. We focus Olaf, that's really good. It's the focus you want to have before objective spawn. Like we see it's 355. If you kill him now, it's free objective. You end up killing Olaf, perfect. We have the info that Varus is coming, thanks to this ward right there. So we have to really be sure if we commit that we get stuff. It's a risk. Like I'm not saying it's bad. You've got blue and red buff on Jinx, he has reset, like it's really good, you know, he has no flash, he has no ultimate anymore. It's not bad at all, but it's a risk. Okay, you flash in, you end up getting 1-2 kills, triple kill for Jinx early game, that's really good. You could avoid this one, would be even perfect, but yeah, we're like, it's normal, you get a triple kill in the end, that's great. Vi should get an easy Herald, although she's starting a bit late. If we're just getting back a bit, at this point when Olaf dies, she should immediately go for it. Like there's no way she wants to keep pushing the Riven under tower. You go for Herald immediately, way before that. Because as you can see, she starts objective now, it's 4:14, so she's basically 14 seconds too late on it. But it's okay. So you get a free Herald, that's good. Ah, Rocket doesn't hit, sad. Okay, let's move on. Okay, they get Drake, whatever, you don't commit onto it. It's good, no cage, perfect. One thing against Varus too, never forget, you gotta like play according, like you have a manner to play your champions, but you also gotta consider how do I have to play my champions against the other ones. Varus doesn't have great pushing ability, so he's gonna push with his abilities. Like he doesn't have, let me rephrase that. He's not really good at pushing waves, so he will need to use his abilities to push waves better. What are his abilities? The arrows that pierce through everything, and the E that does a zone into something. So basically, you gotta just avoid staying on your wave. Why? Because if you stay right here or right there, you basically tell Varus, okay, you gotta choose. Either you push the wave or you attack me. You don't get both. Well, if you're standing in there, he knows, okay, I'm just gonna shoot an arrow. I both push and hit my opponent. So yeah, careful about that. It's a quick thought. Playing against Varus, you do it like that. Just like against Misfortune, you don't stay behind wave, etc. Stuff like that. Okay, we see Rakan being very aggressive. We see Olaf right there, who's not that far away. He decides to really burst. They've got great burst. Honestly, start loving Rakan AP more and more. Luckily, Galio is there to save the day. The Galio is absolutely gorgeous right there. Like if you look at the map, Rakan barely didn't engage yet. He's already moving towards you. Like he realizes, okay, shit, there's a way they can do stuff. I know the Olaf wasn't that far. My mid wave is crashing, but I've got some time. It's Veigar. He's not gonna push it in a second. I can afford being there to hover them if needed. That's absolutely crucial. Because if you see, Jinx should be dead right now, and Galio gives the exact shield at the right time, so Jinx can reset. The reset buys him more time to get away, and he has to use Proto Belt for it. If I'm not mistaken. Let me check, but yeah, exactly. He has to use Proto Belt to kill her. Which is huge, like it's a 60-second cooldown if I'm not wrong. So yeah, it's good, and if he commits Proto Belt, it means he can't Proto Belt out to escape, so it's a free Rakan kill, so yeah, that's... Galio is absolutely amazing right there. He isn't the whole game, I'm not gonna lie, I already watched it once, but there, he was good. Okay, so let's move on. You get a good spike, you move on. Okay, so there's a kind of 4v, no, 3v3 right there. Nami decides to come still. That's maybe not the move. So just to say, Nami could be here very soon and help out. Like she could, well, let's mirror it. She could already be something like, I don't know, here, something like that. I mean, I can't draw, I don't know why it's bugged, but whatever. She could be here and be very close to them already. So just be careful about that, Maxman. You could already be helping. I know you must be pre-made with Jinko, so you want to help your ADC out, but yeah. Here Varus is kind of trolling too. There's no way you can 1v1 a Jinx who was already at 3 stacks of Q. She's just gonna burst you. And by the way, really, really good. What again? This behind him means he can't get out anymore. Like he could enjoy the route and just get out after he poked you. You can't. This prevents him from doing that. So that's really good. Good job, Jinko, on this one. You get the reset, you can push. Here you should immediately push. Like you have the info that they're all right there on the bot, you have to punish somewhere else. So you have to push instantly. Which is a good job, good reaction time. You should even get the turret. Yeah, you get the turret, you get some jungle even. Perfect, that's what you want. So as a Jinx right now, you got an early game at 7 minutes with a triple kill, a 1v1 against enemy ADC, and a turret down. It's perfect. This is a game where, okay, you're feds, and you're gonna carry this. The game is in your hands. Alright, let's move on. So you move to mid. Careful about turret shots though. Okay, I'm checking map position. Okay, so you're S5 here mid, you gotta force something. Otherwise Riven is just gonna freely push. Okay, you are gonna force something. It's good. You just flashed it out, I guess. Wait, we go a bit slower. Up. Okay, so you see Rakan, react flash, perfect. Revelia is interesting. Going in, you get the resets and take the turrets, perfect. Ooh, unlucky aggro. Ah, come on. Jinko, kinda trolling there, buddy. Okay, you got the info on Riven, because you've got plenty of wards here, and she cleared the wave right there. So there's only two options. Either she backed and went back to base, or she's behind. Since you don't know, you can't think like, okay, I didn't see her, so she must have backed. No, you know it's a 50-50, it's an odd. Right, we go. That's unlucky. Yeah, you can suspect she's there, but you can't expect this cage with that plus everything. you try to separate the most you can to avoid the Riven stance. There's not much you can do. You could press barrier. I think you survive it with if you press barrier. But yeah, like you can't expect to play everything perfectly. You got a triple turret a second. Though we didn't get mid turrets. And those tower shots might end up costing a lot, but yeah, it's okay. Okay, we escape it. We just have to give a free herald, I guess, to them. That's really good, by the way. That's an enemy from the it's a mistake from the enemy team. Olaf definitely wants Cloud Drake. Like right now, it's Cloud Drake, as you can see here, and they still go for Herald. That's a huge role. Like Olaf is the champion who's the most broken in the game with Cloud. Riven needs it a lot too. And not gonna lie, Veigar, Varus, and Rakan enjoy mobility too. No champion doesn't. So even if it's not broken on your champs, like you don't need Cloud to win, Cloud becomes a higher priority for the team if it removes a lot of power from the enemy team. You know, like you always, as I said, you gotta consider your champions, but also what works for the enemy champions. If they want Cloud very badly, you're gonna want Cloud too. You know. So yeah, this trade is really worse, and it's kind of trolling from their part, but why not, I guess. Okay, very good wave. I decide to commit. Irelia's kinda low in Big Danger, so you know it's kinda gonna be a 3v3. Kinda. Maxman gets out, he has no mana. You might want to not take this fight. This is absolutely gorgeous. Perfect. Like you get a kill, get a reset, that's really good. Okay, right now you're overcommitting. So we're gonna watch, but I'm gonna rewind in a second. You get CC'd and you should get bursted down. Yeah, get bursted down, okay. At this point, so let me rewind a bit more. So, okay, you're committing. You know those two are kind of out. Like no mana Nami means Nami is useless. She can't have spells and her auto attacks are useless. So you're in a 2v3. So at this point exactly, you know you're 2v3. You see Riven and you know there are two here. You can try to greed it with your resets, etc. You don't know the Veigars here, but you know the Vi. Like, it's okay. You know it's greedy, but you can take the risk at one condition. The enemy comp has CC and burst, that's all. So basically all you gotta avoid is getting CC'd so they can't place their burst. Like they're not hyper mobile, kind of use Cloud, Olaf doesn't have yeah, he does have ultimate, never mind. He's kinda low, like he can't just jump on you and dash or whatever. He's gonna have to commit a lot, you've got your barrier, like you can't play it. At one condition, avoid CC. So right here, first you should keep this. There's no way you use it just in the voice. Like let's watch. Yeah, just putting in the voids is kind of meh. Like you can maybe think he's gonna engage you. There's no way he's gonna engage you with this HP. So yeah, that's kind of meh. If you just reset it, try to keep those really as a defense and not as offense, especially against them. If you can trap a Varus or whatever, sure, go ahead. But as a defense opportunity, it's better against those people who are alive. Now there's only one way you can play this. You basically know your two. So you've got two options, depending on the enemy team. So you know Riven will want to engage you. Olaf has two choices. Either he goes back or he engages you. What is your only positioning that works here? It's staying exactly there. Why? Because if you stay there, let's check. Either Olaf goes back, she goes in, you stay right there, and you can kite her. Like she only wants to engage on you. She's maybe gonna engage what 1v2, maybe 2v2 with the Rengar, maybe Rakan comes. But as long as you stay here and fall back, you're Gucci. If you see she goes away, well, what can you do? Let's say she goes away right there and doesn't dare, then you can commit. But not before. As long as she comes, you can't commit. And in the opposite, if he does commit anyway, if you stay there and kite front to back, with barrier, with Galio as a CC tool, you're good. So basically, standing this ground right there gives you all the opportunities to either go for them if you want to, go for them if you want to and if you can, or go to here if you need. Like you've got really three options that are viable to escape and live this situation. If you even just move there, especially once you use this, you're vulnerable to Rakan, because he can jump anytime and he has the CC needed, while Rakan can't access you if you go to there. That's the first thing. And if you go there, Riven can jump walls, so she just jumps over this and doesn't care about those stuns, and she can join. So you would be in a 1 or 2v3, which means you're gonna get CC'd by Rakan or by Riven, and they can burst you. And remember, as we said, the only way you die is CC plus burst. It's literally the only way if Varus isn't there. And that's what ends up happening. You commit, Rakan can come stun you, and if he stuns, you get bursted. And Riven just ignores your CC and you get bursted down. And yes, we kill Veigar on cooldown, but he's not worth that much. While in your team, you're the one who's fed and is supposed to be carrying. So really be careful about that. I'm gonna summarize that as an ADC, and I tell this to Doom every day, so I'm in no shame sharing that. You're a crybaby. You're supposed to be a crying baby, a toddler who's crying for food, attention, affection, hugs, whatever you want. Basically, resources, help, and attention. So be it. Like, you know you're a fragile little thing who's gonna carry and has to only think about himself. So you only think about yourself, you don't care about your team. When it comes to needs, I mean, when it comes to positioning, etc., you have to consider them, but don't be afraid to ask it for them, okay? You ask for help, you position accordingly, you demand resources. But if they're not able to provide you with resources, you also don't have to forget that you are a baby, you can't do anything alone. So you need those resources. Don't take it as a, okay, I'm a baby, you need to help me, and if you don't, you're ending. No, you need to consider that if they can't help you, you just can't go in, okay? That's a really good fight. You take the reset where you can't, it's opportunistic. That's basically being a crybaby. Perfect. You take the last little hit and it can appear as a kill steal, whatever. It isn't. You're the ADC, it's good. That's an ambitious flash in, but it works, so why not, I guess. I just don't know if at this point in the game I would spend my flash on a kill. Like, it's good, but if it's just for a kill and not going for any objective or whatever, my flash is worth a lot as an ADC against those people. So yeah, it's good, but keep in mind that for the next 2 minutes you gotta play really safe because you have no flash and the enemies do. Okay, so the situation is quite good. Let's move on. Yeah, nah. Okay, you're an ADC, you're a crybaby, don't forget. There's no way you can be alone on the map there while your 4 allies are here. There's no way you can be there. Normally 10 out of 10 times you should be dead. He ends up missing it, especially with no flash, by the way. Like, let's not forget, you just spent your flash. There's Rakan with CC, Olaf not far, Varus and Veigar who can CC you to death. There's no way you can get there. Really good reaction by Galio to show so that Rakan goes away, because otherwise you're 100% dead. So really be careful about that. Okay, so let's check a bit. Okay, you're 4v2 mid, you have the info on Rakan Olaf on top, that's good. Careful about the CC, but yeah, it's okay, you commit for a kill. Perfect. Like that's the kind of situations you need to exploit, exactly. You poke them a bit, you clear the wave. Don't be afraid, when you're under turret right there, creeps will always go forward. So if you stop poking them, and like once your wave is dead, you're gonna be able to farm your creeps right there anyway. While champions are not like pre-programmed. So when you can hit champions or minions, unless you need to hit the minions of course, try to enjoy the time you can to have to poke the champions. Because like crypts, you're gonna have them anyway. It's just like tower. Like if you can hit tower or crypts, usually you will want to hit the tower. Because crypts, you can still hit them afterwards, they're gonna move to you, you're gonna be in a safer position. Tower, it's only at that exact time that you can hit it. So don't forget that. If you can poke, go ahead and poke. Okay, so right now they're committing a Herald. Ideally you should be able to play here, but your wave isn't pushed right there, so there's not much you can do. Just back off, accept that they charge on your tower right there, and it's okay. You take red buff, perfect. That's honestly that's an exemplary ranked game, by the way. Like getting the red buff, being able to team fight, etc. You get resources. You get help from your allies, it's really good. Alright, so we see it's kind of 4v4 mids. You see the cage used, that's good. That's a cooldown used, you just get out of there. Like you know the cage is, I don't know by heart, but like between 10 and 20 seconds, something like that. And it's huge for Veigar, so if he doesn't have it, you get out. Especially if you get stunned, you never get in the cage afterwards. If he engages, whatever, he does his own job, but don't forget you're a baby. You care about your positioning, depending on the team, but you don't have to commit if they do a mistake, because they can maybe survive, they're tanky, they've got a flash, whatever. You still don't have your flash, you're stunned, you only have a barrier, you don't have a very protective support, like Nami can heal you or speed you, but speed within CC doesn't matter. So yeah, they're just gonna CC you to death. Olaf just commits because he knows you're the only target and you're dead. So yeah, careful about that. Their comp is CC burst. That's it. So if you don't have flash, don't commit to your allies' mistakes, kinda. You're the baby, basically. That's the mentality. Be a baby, think baby, that's it. Alright, so we don't commit to Ocean, but they don't either. We even managed to... Okay, 1 for 2, that's not that great. I guess it's okay-ish. You get a kill, perfect. And we get Varus. Okay, really good job. It's kind of Fiesta, ranked Fiesta, let's say, but it's okay, it works. So that's fine. You can even maybe start Ocean Drake. Like they have Olaf, but your Vi is there in 5. I think you can, yeah, exactly. You're picking to start, it's perfect. Because you know they have more timers, so you're gonna be 5 before they are. You can flip it a bit. It's just Ocean, it's not that important. But the team that has two Drakes will have a bigger Elder Drake, which is quite important in the end if you have Elder, or you remove it from the enemy team if they get Elder, so that's basically the only importance it has right now. So that's really Gucci. Okay, let's check this fight out. It's classical 5v5. Rakan has a really good... Okay, flash out instantly, why not? Like Olaf is on you already, so good flash. Try to be careful though. If you have that many HPs, Nami has Locket, don't use both Flash and Barrier at the same time. As we can see, use Flash and Barrier at the same time. That's too much, because all this shield here will not be used, and you basically just end up losing. So you lost Locket and Barrier together for nothing. Try to use one or the other. I think you could have survived, or at least capitalized, on just Barrier Locket. Especially since the cage was missed. You can just do that and hit Olaf, especially since you got Ocean Drake too, you're gonna heal a bit. You've got options. You can burst the Olaf down, they need you, your team at least. Why? Because if we check here your positioning, I'm gonna go a bit slower. If we check your positioning, you're not hitting anyone and losing the shield. So you both lose the 2 shields, which are quite huge for you, and you lose a flat 3-4 seconds of DPS. Which is a lot. Like your DPS is basically your team. So if he engages and you just flash 10 meters away to here, he's gonna have 10 seconds to just go back on the ones on your team who have engaged, and they get 5v1, and you just lose someone, lose barrier, lose lockets, and lose DPS while they just kill someone for free basically. So really be careful about that. Positioning wise too. So check especially Jinx's movements here. So okay, remember you got no flash, so no dashing opportunity. So going behind this wall basically means you're locked. Right now Riven knows that you've got no other way to go than going here and here. You basically just lose time. While if you're just standing right there, you're closer to your tower and still having the same DPS, you know, like you don't need to lock yourself up right there. Why? Because right now you've got no other option than to go to there, while your allies have got no other option than to go to there. So basically, you enable Riven to, instead of having a one-man stun on this guy or maybe this one, you enable her to stun a third one, you, which is very important. So she stuns you once, then she stuns you twice again. Yeah, see, when you... So she stuns one, check again your movement. you're DPSing from far. Like your range, I think from here you can still hit her, right? You're still going back in. If you go back in, you get again in her stun. Really be careful about positioning, because like you're not losing this fight solo. Like I think it's fair. Yeah, Vi shouldn't have engaged so far. Definitely agreed. If you flash out, Locket could be spared, but like yeah, it's a reflex for your support to just help the whole team who's getting DPS'd. So yeah, careful about flash barrier and careful about positioning. Because with the good positioning, Riven is dead, Olaf is highly DPS'd, and you don't die to a Rakan who can reach you again by 1 millimeter, which is enough to kill you again. So yeah, that's really a very good fight to learn from as an ADC, whether you play Jinx, Kai'Sa, Tristana, whatever it is, even Varus, MF, like whatever. Your positioning is key as an ADC. It's really half of the gameplay of an ADC is how to position correctly. And as a tanky or whatever, basically, you're low. Look at this guy. Okay, now don't proto belt into Veigar's cage, please. Because he's basically just getting one tap to burst and has to flash out. So yeah, don't proto belt into a CC that is standing right in front of you. Quick tip. Alright, let's move on. Okay, so there's Baron. There's not Elder yet. That's good, you're farming up, getting red again, it's perfect. Now don't forget, you don't have flash, you don't have barrier. Veigar still has it, Rakan still has it, Varus still has it. Like past fight they didn't use any flash. All of them have flash literally. So yeah, it's gonna be a tough fight to catch them at least. The cage is missed, so it's good. But again, and they're split. So this technically should be a really good fight for you. But here comes the flash and the electrocute, etc. and the tankiness difference. Is that you're getting focused really hard. Like Olaf is able to go in and just commit on you because he knows he can get out of this flash and his ultimate being speedy. You only have CC, as I said, Olaf is D1, you want to avoid feeding and he's fed. He's gonna hurt like a truck. So you have to Zonya instantly. Since you have to Zonya, you're gonna be dead, basically. Your comp just can't do anything against Olaf. I'm just checking if someone could have done something differently. But honestly, I don't really think so. Yeah, no, there's not much you can do. Yes, you could be a bit more split to avoid the AoE damage of Olaf, of Riven, etc. But at this point, they're all 5 alive. We see they have still 3 flashes left. Like, they could have done a way longer fight and sustained it pretty easily. They're just gonna finish. So yeah. Very important lessons. If you're an ADC, careful about positioning. That's for the late game, for the team fights. Take resources, but really the mentality you gotta have is, I'm a baby. I'm gonna cry for help, cry for resources. That's the part where you're happy to be an ADC. But you can also be unhappy to be an ADC. Why? Because don't forget, you are a baby. Without those resources, and if your allies aren't in position to help, or if they had to use stuff to survive themselves, you're not going to be able to do shit. So don't force them and say, oh, you had to do this or that. It's not going to work. If they don't have the resources to help you, you gotta farm up resources, you and them. So don't forget, it's a mutual help, basically. It's a 5v5 game. You're gonna depend on your allies just as much as they depend on you. Adapt to the enemy team. Know that, okay, Olaf counters literally the 5 of us. Let's be careful where he is. Let's not feed him. But on the good side, for example, so Jinko here showed perfectly how to seize opportunities, how to play the early game aggressively, even though they could have been maybe a bit more aggressive even. They seized the opportunities, he got a triple kill early, got the mid prio right before the objective spawn, they warded it. He 1v1 the Varus because he knows, okay, I stacked 3 stacks of my Q, I can go in, I can 1v1 him, etc, etc. So yeah, he trusted his allies, he used the Galio ultimate on top, etc. At least it got used onto him. Trust your allies, position, give yourself the opportunities. Just be careful about, okay, the bigger picture of the enemy team. And for the rest, you should be good. It's all in your hands. Some games will be more difficult, some games will be easier, but yeah, you've got the tools you need and you're gonna grow up and improve your ADC game for sure. So yeah, for viewers, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want coaching, as I said, the link will be in the description below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, etc. It helps a lot. Even just for mental support, you know, like I just do this to help out and having a smile at the end of the day. So yeah, I hope it's helping you. I hope it's gonna help Jinko, for who I do this video. Subscribe to his channel too and watch his Baron guide again. Like, as I say, it's really useful for competitive, for ranked, for casual, for flexing with your friends, whatever. Yeah, so have a good day and see you later, guys. Bye bye.